I'm the best in show, just to let you know. Oh, yeah, okay, well, come on, gather around. All right, there's two trains of thought here. So, best in show was, I picked a cedar. There are two great cedars in the show. One of them is right here behind this gentleman here, Paul Chung's tree. This is already won in 2017, I believe. But the most spectacular tree in the show is that cedar right here on the corner. Yeah. And that tree took a long time to do. And if you look at it,
where's the owner, by the way?
Yeah, the owner's missing.
You want to come up, owner boy?
Yeah.
Hey, owner.
Where is he? Don't be shy.
There he is.
Mike must have spent hundreds of hours splaying everything out like
36,
this.
he said.
Is that it?
36.
That was 1 day, maybe even 1 day, but it must have taken several days to get it to be exactly like that. And for that, it wins best in show, hands down. Very nice, spectacular tree. Toronto Bonsai Society. You'll get an opportunity to speak. Don't worry. And this is for you. Right by your tree.
What an honor.
Get over there, you guys.
Yeah, let's go with the tree.
Very well done.
Get a picture, dude.
Well deserved. Spectacular tree.
Shake hands to the cameraman.
So, come on outside.
The golden handshake.
You're the president. You get in there. I can shake. There you go. No need for me.
You were show chair.
I'm wanted by the cops, man. Come on. No.
Looking.
I know, but keep your eyes open. It's getting dark in here. Thank you.
There we go.
Nice wire.
Nicely done, Mike.
Nice wire.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what you did with the tree?
Oh, should I stand up?
Everybody. Yep. Okay. Come on over, guys. Now, I recall this morning talking to Mr. McCallion, and he told us when he first saw you with that tree, it was like a big stick and it was flying everywhere, and you had a plan for it. So this is the plan.
Yeah, it's, I collected it around 2000, maybe a little bit earlier. I don't remember exactly. I'm not very good with records. And I definitely had it when Norman Hadrick came and visited me in Peterborough. It used to have a root that went way out here. At first I had it in a really tall garbage can. So of course I liked the twisted trunk, and I grew this branch over that period of 20 years, and my intention is to create a shari that kind of twirls and kind of goes up the tree kind of like the rest of it. And I just bought this pot last year, and it's taken a long time to get it in a small pot like that. It takes many years, and the only reason why it still stands up is because I have a wedge like hammered right into the side here to hold it up. So
not a demon holding it.
No, not a demon, no. And
it's not an actual live snake.
no, I always called it the snake because it has this snake-like look, and I wanted to show it. This is the first time I've ever shown it. I wanted to show it with a bird's nest with eggs in it to get that feel. But when the bird's nest that I wanted, when I went and pulled it off of my eaves trough, the whole side of it was against the wall, so it wasn't suitable. I might still try to doctor it up for the next show. Anyways, it was originally styled by Marco Invernizzi in the first time that I worked with him. So he's the one who kind of set kind of the branching pattern, and yeah, so I've just been kind of working on it ever since.
Like also your moss, some more natural as well.
Yeah. Well, it's my apprentice over here helped me moss that, and we mossed it in, was it August?
September.
Was it September? Yeah. So it got a chance to all kind of grow together.
Infused together nicely.
Yeah. And then Mike McCallion was kind enough to lend me
Right
that
with the
slab.
Yeah.
Originally, we were going to put it on that huge slab that's over there.
Right.
And it looked, just didn't look right. And so he graciously let me use this one. And yeah, so I'm, yeah, it's very satisfying to have a tree that you worked on for 20-something odd years, and then you're able to put it in the show. So
Yeah, and you were saying that you're confident enough that it's gonna go to the nationals.
I'm gonna ask Bill if it's good enough,
Yeah.
and if
I
it's
would.
good enough, I'll put it in the
I
nationals.
definitely would, yeah.
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 So we're gonna have a quick critique. The difference for tonight is that it's not going to be just myself doing it. I'll start it off and then I'll hopefully get people to take over as I have to jet off to go be with my son. But I want to talk about this a little bit more, right? What I love about it is that in and amongst all of the cedars here, it's treated entirely different. So it has this sort of exotic feel to it, right? Like I want to go up close to it. It's not just a tree that I appreciate the overall composition of. I like all of the way that you've handled the foliage, right? It transforms it into something that draws me in. I love all the twists and turns. And the shari, was it natural, or did you put that?
No, it's how it kind of peeled. When I first collected it, it didn't have the shari.
Oh, okay.
But when I went in there and started picking away at it, this is where it was. Some of it I did create or extend.
Because that's a really beautiful feature, right? Like the fact that, like Paul's over there has a lot of impact because 90% of it's dead, right? This is a much gentler, subtle thing that adds a lot of movement through the piece, right? Because it's that element of contrast in there, right? I love too how, 20 years to grow that really amazing branch, right? Without it, it wouldn't be anything, right? That has so much movement and energy into it. Overall, it just feels complete, right? The cool thing I like about it is, as a cedar, it's so radically different, right? I like too that it has that inverse taper, right? That it's this beautiful, elegant thing because of that, right? A lot of people would see that as a flaw. I see that as like, it's rising up. It creates movement and it creates that kind of snake-like animal quality to it, right? So it has great things going for it. The pot could be a little big.
It's a bit smaller, yeah.
But it's not bad because of the mass of foliage, right? So I think it works quite well. The issue I have is with the base, right? Like if it was on that, there's no question. But it's still too thick and chunky.
Yeah.
Right? I think like the slab, the burl over here. Can we lift it?
Sure.
We'll see if it looks any.
Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's much nicer.
Yeah.
Just classy, right?
That's for sale in the sale section there, Mike.
Double price.
Yeah, even the tone of the whole
Yeah.
composition changes, right? It's really unified now.
Yeah, I actually didn't have a slab for it, and I was panicking, and I'm like, Mike, you must have a slab for me. So,
That should have been your award. Next time.
Exactly.
Anybody have any other observations?
I have one. The thing I like too, which doesn't take too much away for it, was up here, naturally fused wood. And you put this shari around here and made it look smaller, so that's pretty good as well.
yeah.
It's a flaw that I can see from here, but you've covered it nicely with the branches because it comes out like this, but you
Yeah.
can't really see it from here. And from that side there, you don't even see it on the other side.
I've had a few comments from different people. Norman Hatrick said that this, and many people have said this is too heavy and that I should reduce it.
You don't notice it from... with the
Morrow
branches.
said I should gin this entire branch, but when I told him it took me 20 years to grow, he said, "Oh no, I can't make you do that." I remember Marty Schmallenberg. He didn't like the inverse taper, but I thought that because this is starting to thicken up, that eventually that inverse taper will be reduced.
But there are so many great examples like this in Japan, right? With
Sure.
inverse taper, right? And they're unique because of it, right? They have character because of it. They're not, you know, cookie cutter.
Well, those are just comments people have made.
And I personally, I really like the hefty shari in the front. I also like that it's kind of squarish in there, right?
Yeah.
Like I like seeing that really harsh angle up in that, in something that's so elegant.
I thought it would look good in a woven basket pot.
To me,
And then I could have some guy with the flute.
Maybe the next one.
to me, it
Next
looks
spot.
like that gymnastics with the ribbons. It has the heaviness up top and the flowing branch and trunk, which gives it a feeling like it's floating in the wind or something. It looks
Fluid.
yeah, fluid. That's the feeling I get. It's just light and yeah, just
I just want to point out to anyone who's new to the club to take a pay particular attention to the wiring on this tree. Like
Yeah.
every frond is wired with copper wire. Like just take the time to look at it, because this is what makes a tree like really, really spectacular when you take the time and effort. I mean, you were saying how long did it take you to wire this? 36 hours in total?
Yeah, maybe. That's a guess. I don't know.
Guesstimate. You know?
It's over 24 hours
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah. So approximately a whole lot of time, and it's just, it makes it incredible. Everything is pinched, everything is properly pruned. Like Mike took every step necessary to bring this tree to this level. And that really makes it super impressive, because you could have these super long fronds. It would be fun to see, but this is really, really, really strict, you know, and that's what makes the tree.
I have control issues.
Mike, I think I've heard you mention that you can't flip cedar fronds over. So how do you get around that with having everything so set?
Well, you have to. There's two sides, right? You have the underside and you have the overside. So the overside is dark green, and the underside is light and shiny, sometimes even silver-like. And so sometimes the fronds grow like this, and so it's hard to tell the difference. But if you look, you can find the one that favors it, and then what you do is when you wire it, you wire it so that you can twist it and flatten it. So there's a lot of, I'm like, okay, well the frond is this way, so I have to wire it this way so that I can turn it this way. Or if it's this way, I wire it so that I can, there's a lot of that.
When John Naka first came to Canada, way back in the 70s, he had never worked on a cedar before. And he was wiring the fronds, the bottom up.
Upside down.
Yeah.
That's what Morrow was doing.
Yeah, they died. They died
for me.
Just got burnt to a crisp.
Yeah. So I was doing a lot of twisting all of the fronds that he did incorrectly. But that's okay. He was actually really liked the cedars. He said, this is something that you guys have here in Toronto and like in Ontario and in Quebec, and no one else has. So he says you should enjoy it, right, and celebrate it.
It takes so much work.
It does.
You know what he told me? I remember that, 'cause I had worked on a cedar suit, and he goes, we don't use this floppy shit in Europe.
Yeah, it costs too much money.
So I think it's whoever is dealing with that. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't use this floppy shit.
Yeah, he's like, well, this is what you have, so this is what we'll use. But
Thank you.
Beautiful.